Guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Simon. I'm down here at JD Golf Academy at Drayton Park Golf Club. And I did a video a couple of days ago on the Taylormade Udi. I went down really well, really popular, lots of comments. So thank you ever so much for that. And I did say, do you want to see a comparison between the Taylormade Udi and the Titleist T-mb 718? And the consensus was yes. So here I am with both the irons in my hands. It's a Monday morning. Sun is coming out, it's glorious. I had a great weekend with the weather. I hope you guys did too. Got a bit of golf in there, I hope. And yeah, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of both of these irons. And yeah, the price points, dispersion, distance, everything else like that. So if you're interested in getting a 2-iron this season, hopefully it's going to help you out. Now, it's only 2 irons realistically that we have here at the moment, so I can't really get to try the Callaway or Swickson. Callaway or Swickson, if you're watching, please do send some. But yeah, I'm going to be doing other videos as well. So I want to do a maxing out video on the Ping G400 and G400 Max. That's worked really well for us this season in terms of custom fitting. Don't know whether it's going to work well for me because it is quite a high launching, high spin driver, but that's to come. That's to come. We're going to find out. See if I can get some settings where it's going to knock the spin down. Guys, if you want to see a maxing out video on any driver, rescue, hybrid, wood, whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. The more comments I get, more likely I'm going to do the video. So thank you ever so much for that. So, a lot of talking, deep breath. Here's both the irons. Can I just say both of them look rather sexy? I think I'd happily have both of these in the bag purely on looks. But we're not all about the looks. I mean, looks 85% of it, but we're also about what they can do and everything like that. So yeah, GC quad dots already on them. Get the GC quad set up. I hit a few and then you guys can see the comparison between the both. Let's go. Okay, Titleist T-mb 718 iron. Now, first thing to note, £230 for this club. £230. As much as probably any other wood out there on the market. I mean, fairway woods, not necessarily drivers, but this is very much territory into the high end of the market. It is a lot of money. It's got tungsten weights in the bottom and top of the heel there, so on the heel and the toe. So you see where the black is, tungsten at the top there. There's then a slot in the middle. It's basically their players club, but highest ball speed, highest launch, but to have that kind of players feel. So it looks from address, still looks like a blade, which I completely understand. I know why some people would want that kind of feel. They don't want to feel like they're using a spade whilst out on the golf course, but they still need that help to get the ball up. Now, that being said, I know that works for the rest of the set. They have got the LZ shaft. So this is the standard stock shaft that comes with it. We've got the 6.0 that does come with a 5.5 as well, which is a bit less stiff, and it's got the 120 gram shaft. So the first thing to note, this is a heavy club. I'm putting them next to both 2 irons next to each other. This definitely feels heavier, which can definitely work. I'm guessing people that are using 2 irons quite often have a high club head speed, so they probably need something to slow their tempo down. And I think that's probably what Titleist have gone with when they've tried to make this golf club. So can get it in graphite as well, but this comes standard with the LZ shaft, mid to low launch, and spin with this. Obviously a fairway finder, I think. However, you can get higher launch on it and it can sit soft on the green as well, so they say. But I'm going to give it a hit in a minute. However, let's look at the Taylormade for the people that didn't necessarily see it in my last video, and we'll go from there. Okay, so the P790. Obviously did a video on this last week. Got a good amount of feedback. Now, I fell in love with this club the last time I hit it. I think it was really good. However, this does feel very light. Now I have the 2 iron as well, the Titleist one in the bag. I did say I quite like a heavy shaft and heavy weight, or the feel of it anyway, just to, A, it feels more forgiving, I feel, and B, it slows your tempo down in my swing. I've got quite a fast tempo, slowing that tempo down so I don't get too quick on it definitely helps. However, I hit this really well, so it's always in the performance, I'd say. And it doesn't feel cheap. I think it feels cheap as soon as you put it next to that one. But it's got the graphite shaft, so it's got a 45 gram difference between the two of them. So it's got an 85 gram shaft in this one. That's really bad maths by me. It's 35 gram difference. Still stiff though. I mean, it's going to have lower torque than the higher torque, I should say. So that club face is going to square up a bit more to the target, helping close it a bit more on the way down. compared to the LZ. The LZ's at like 1.8. For anyone that is interested in torque, I can go into that more in the future if anyone wants to know. And yeah, standard grip. Now, purely on looks, I think on looks and feel, I think it's the Titleist T-mb. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Which one would you prefer, just on looks, to have in the bag as well? Obviously, it's tungsten weights in the P790. However, this club retails about 165, 170. So you'd need another £80 in your pocket for that bad boy than this. So whether it'd be worth it, we will see, looking obviously at the stats in a minute. But yeah, obviously quite expensive. Both of them are quite expensive nonetheless. But yeah, that is definitely a big difference to contemplate when you're choosing between both of these irons. So what I'm going to do, Challenger first, because I used this last time. I think we're going to go Titleist first. I'm going to hit 4 shots with that, 4 shots with this, and then we can have a look at the numbers. Okay guys, Titleist T-mb to start off with. A bit early in the morning. Let's see what kind of swings we can produce. Hopefully I can put 4 good ones on each iron, give them a fair test at least. Right, first shot. Now I've hit that good, slightly thin that one. 237, you can see GC quads have said straight out of the blade of the club. Not much of the middle of the club was used in that one. Let's see if we can get another one. Better strike that one, much better strike. Slightly a bit right. Ball speed's good. 237 though, in terms of carry, still decent carry. Oh, that felt really good. I think I've done some justice with that one. Yeah, that's come out of the middle nicely. That felt really good as well, especially out of the middle. Come out like a rocket. Swinging at about 106, 105 club head at the moment. I was at 111 with the Taylormade the other day, so it'd be interesting to see if I swing the Taylormade faster because the club is lighter or feels lighter. But again, 246, respectable shot there. Last one. Let's see if I can get hold of another good one. Yeah. Again, that felt really good. Slightly a bit more down the left-hand side, that one. And 242. So we didn't quite break the 250 mark with the 2 iron. Don't necessarily think that's a bad or good thing. In terms of dispersion-wise, I mean, they're all fairway. They're all fairway, and this is kind of what this club would be for me, just fairway finding the whole time. But yeah, good. And when it comes out the middle, or doesn't come out the middle, you're not losing much. So you'll see my thin shot. All the other 3 were pretty much out the middle. Even the second one wasn't proper. Third one definitely was. But we weren't losing a lot. And you'll see in terms of trajectory and the pattern, not too far or dissimilar from each other. So it'll be interesting to see how the Taylormade one does. So let's go and do that. Okay, Taylormade P790 Udi feels dramatically lighter as soon as you put this in the hand compared to the other one, which means I'm probably going to get faster club head speed, slightly maybe higher ball speed. Be careful to see my dispersion though, because I don't want to get too quick. Now I hit this relatively consistently the other day, but the Titleist T-mb there, the 4 shots I hit, I was quite impressed with those. So let's see how we get on. That's just a rocket. Absolute rocket. Yeah. So it's beating all 4 shots of the T-mb straight off the back. 109 with the club head speed. So you can see that club head speed just jumped really quickly. I heard it here clatter the trees at the end of the range here. Great looking flight on it. Slightly heavy that one. Didn't quite catch that. But again, it's still got 250. Again, you'll see that the spin rate's dropped there. I've caught it slightly behind. Both out the middle. Both out the middle, which is pretty good. Haven't got too quick over it yet. Ball speed, club speed's up all of a sudden. Slightly to the right, my bad shot. Push right at the moment. and again a higher difference. Now you could say this is an unfair test. Graphite shaft in the UDI, steel shaft in the TMB, but this is what they come standard with. That's what they come standard with. And the graphite shaft still 170. So if you were looking to get the TMB and a graphite, it's now 250 quid. So there's another £20 on top of what it already is. So that's why I wanted to do the standard shafts. Plus I haven't got a different shaft in either of these clubs, so I can't really test it anyway. Let's hit one more with the UDI. Oh, slightly bit right again. Bit quick on that one. I think I got ahead of it a bit too much. But that's interesting, that's really interesting. Right, let me show you the data.
Okay guys, there you have it. So the Titleist T-mb is the yellow dots and the UDI is the red dots. So you can see the red dots. All of a sudden, let's go for dispersion. Dispersion was a lot better with the TMB. I think I got too quick on two of them. Hands obviously getting too far ahead of myself. Club face not closing enough, and I've leaked two of them right, which is my bad shot at the moment. So that is definitely some faults in my swing to be said there as well. Now, the trajectory on the TMB was very consistent, quite high, a bit more higher. I think if we look at the table, I'll show you some of the stats between the two. So, all of a sudden, so the TMB there, iron number 2, iron number 1 with the yellow dots. Now, on distance, Taylormade UDI is 1, 247 on average, 240 with the TMB. However, I think the TMB was a lot more consistent. I had a 237 all the way up to a 251 with the UDI. Ball speed obviously is going to be higher on average, so 151. That's where the extra distance is coming out of. And spin rate's relatively similar. However, spin rate on the UDI is a lot lower, which is obviously going to keep that ball not necessarily climbing as much. But the Titleist T-mb is also designed for being able to play into flags. That's definitely what they say with like the 7, 8, 9 and everything else in the set. Now obviously a 2-iron is not necessarily always going to be used going in flag because that's a long way to go in. But you're having a bit more control with maybe that backspin. So there's something to be said about that as well. Especially the Taylormade UDI, you'll see my club head speed a lot higher. Well, not a lot higher, but in some cases it was a lot higher. There was one iron there, 105, that dropped it down, but all the others were 108, 109. So you can see the difference in the shaft there. It makes a massive difference, being a lighter club in general. So for someone that's looking for, let's say, an easy 2-iron, I know that doesn't make sense whatsoever, but an easier 2-iron, let's say your club head speed is around about, with a 9-iron, between like the 90 mark, which again, still quite high for an iron. This club's probably going to be better for you. If you're swinging it at the 100 miles an hour mark with an iron, similar to my club head speed, Titleist T-mb, possibly better. Now obviously steel shaft with the TMB, graphite shaft, you can choose between the both. It just feels like it's weighted a tiny bit more consistently with the TMB. I felt like if I did hit a poor shot, I wasn't necessarily going to get punished as much, or didn't feel like I was going to get punished that much. Now with the Taylormade, I struck pretty much all of them bang out the middle. So actually it'd be interesting to see how much they would have dropped off if I caught it slightly out the toe or the heel. Whereas I know with the Titleist, I didn't catch all of them like really well. But equally said, you hit either of these clubs out the screws, they're performing. I mean, you can see those numbers. Now, value for money, 170 for the Taylormade, 250 if you wanted the TMB and graphite. I mean, does that say it all? I mean, at the end of the day, there's not much in between them. I think if money's not an object, I think you can definitely get fitted for the right one for you. However, if you never got to hit either of these 2 irons and you're on a budget, I think it has to be the Taylormade, just purely on the price point of being 80, 90 pounds cheaper than the Titleist T-mb. Let me know your thoughts, guys. What do you think between the two of them? What would you go for now you've seen those? Or have you hit both of them, and what do you think? Have you guys been able to hit both of the irons, and did you see a difference between them? So there you go, guys. There is the comparison between the two of them. Okay, guys, there you have it. There's my comparison on the both of them. Guys, give me your thoughts, how I can make these better, how I can make the reviews better. Obviously, they went down really well last time I did my last one. Hopefully this one goes down really well as well. Let me know your thoughts, because I want to improve, I want to get better. I enjoy them.
very fortunate position I am that I can test the majority of the equipment that's out in 2018, which I know I'm very blessed to be able to do. So give me your thoughts of what maybe you want to buy in the future. If I can help you in any way at all, then I'll obviously want to do that. Guys, leave this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll catch you guys later.